Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn and my presentation is going to be on how to survive an apocalypse. Okay, so first of all, let's set the stage. What's going on? It could either be a pandemic, a natural disaster, nuclear war, climate change, zombies, aliens, that are all followed by different aftermaths and all have different effects on society. And yet they all have one commonality. And what is that? People want to survive. But how? I'm going to tell you. What we will be exploring. The novels are The Dog Stars and Panther in the Hive. And the media will be the movie Zombieland and Season 1, Episode 1 of Falling Skies. And also various articles on apocalyptic fiction. Back to the basics of life. In the article, I Will Survive, Preparing for the Apocalypse, survivalist ideas make it known that modern society is flawed. People cannot be dependent on modern institutions and should learn to farm, hunt or raise livestock, and have basic medicinal knowledge. This type of survivalism is shown in The Dog Stars through Hig's skills in an appreciation for nature, like fishing and hiking, as well as Seema and Pop's ability to farm, raise livestock, and Seema to practice medicine. To continue back to the basics of life, in television's Falling Skies, aliens have destroyed modern structures of society and citizens survive by reviving old American traditions. These include town meetings, homeschooling, and familial doctors. This is not only a way to survive post-apocalypse, but it is also a way to make stronger connection with others. Speaking of stronger connection with others, establishing community is also a necessity to survive. In almost every single apocalyptic fiction, creating a community post-apocalypse is necessary for survival. Tasha would not have survived if she hadn't met Z, Ishmael, or Malachi. One example is when Tasha is trying to leave the mall alone, but starts getting attacked by minkers, and Z swoops in and saves her life. Another aspect of community is that it helps characters live rather than merely survive. An example is Hig and Seema from The Dog Stars and Columbus and Wichita from Zombieland. These two relationships allow for deeper connections and also give characters a sense of purpose and the will to survive. Also, it is important to have a community that has various strengths. With the groups from The Dog Stars and from Zombieland, each member of the community has different strengths that they contribute to the group as a whole, which makes them stronger altogether then. Now, next is survival of the most weaponized. Bangley from The Dog Stars is well-versed in weaponry and is able to kill people easily. A quote from Hig on page 71 is, "I'm not sure if he thought of himself as a soldier or even a warrior, but he was a survivor with a capital S." Obviously, this is showing that Hig really feels that Bangley's ability to kill and use his weapons help him in order to survive. The Steve Almond article titled "A Culture That Lurches About Within the Shadow of Its Own Extinction" is also pro-weapons. Almond describes apocalyptic fiction as survival of the most weaponized, meaning he also feels that weaponization is important for survival during an apocalypse. He also shows the importance of weapons when he says, if you want to rescue them, turn them into secret weapons, regarding children surviving an apocalypse, such as Katniss using her bow and arrow skill in The Hunger Games. Tasha also uses her weapon to survive, which is a Wusthof knife, as her weapon of choice, and without it she would not survive. The same goes for her friends that she's made along the way, each having their own specific weapon of choice. In Zombieland 2009, Columbus comes up with a list of rules that help him to survive. Number 2 is double tap, in which Columbus makes sure to utilize his weapons that kill the zombies rummaging through the world. This is a quote from him. "Don't get off stingy with your bullets. I mean, one more clean shot to the head," which show how he uses his weapons to survive. One for your lives. This slide, this next necessity for survival, I would call agility or cardio. In Panther in the Hive, author Olivia Cole makes Tasha's strength known to the readers. This is a quote from Tasha. "I'm sneaky. I'm kind of fast. I mean, I am fast." Tasha has the capability to kill many Minkers by herself before establishing her community. And she also talks about going to the gym pre-apocalypse, which helped her stay fit to fight during the apocalypse. And also, from Zombieland, Columbus's first and most important rule is cardio, meaning having the ability to run from an issue or have the endurance to fight for yourself during an apocalypse. Lastly, the most important thing is having morality in an apocalyptic setting. In The Dog Stars, Hig displays his morality when he helps the Mennonite families, which in turn gives him a sense of purpose. As well as at the end of Zombieland, Columbus and Tallahassee showed the morality as they saved Little Rock and Wichita, even though the girls had betrayed them. This helped maintain a stable, caring environment for the characters to live in. It is critical to survival because it helps the characters remain human in a world that has crumbled before them. So now a recap on your lesson of how to survive an apocalypse. First, you got to know the basics of life. Learn how to survive without modern technology and institutions. Next, you must establish a community to diversify skills and as well as help develop hope and a will to stay alive. Next, weapons are a must. Whether you're killing a zombie or a human, you have to learn to kill so you don't get killed. Next is agility. If you're worried about an incoming apocalypse, I would recommend getting into shape. Lastly, morality is key for survival, as you don't want to lose your morals in an apocalyptic setting without any set of rules or regulations. Luckily for us, we have spent the whole semester learning how to survive through our readings and screenings. So, last is my beautiful Works Cited page. Thank you all, and goodbye.